Important 2 marks questions for De Moivre's theorem. Okay, question number 1. If 1 comma omega square are the cube roots of unity, then prove that a plus b, a omega plus b omega square into a omega square plus b omega is equals to a cube plus b cube. Given question a plus b. Here first we will multiply these two brackets. Okay, first term whole bracket, second term whole bracket. A omega square is a into a is a square, omega into omega square is omega cube, plus a into b is ab, omega into omega is omega square. Okay, a into b is ab, omega square is omega power 4, plus b into b is b square into omega is omega cube. Okay, so a plus b into a square, omega cube value is nothing but 1. Okay, ab, taking ab common here, ab omega square plus omega power 4 plus b square into omega cube is 1. A plus b into a square plus ab into omega square plus omega power 4. See, omega power 4 can be written as omega cube into omega. Bases are same, power should be added, so we can write it in this form omega cube because we know the value of omega cube. So 1 into omega is omega. So we are writing omega plus b square, a plus b, a square plus ab, omega square plus omega. We know one formula, omega square plus omega plus 1 is equals to 0. So we have omega square plus omega. Take this 1 here, it will become minus 1. So at the place of omega square plus omega, we can substitute minus 1. A plus b, a square minus ab plus b square. A into whole bracket multiply b into whole bracket. A into a square, a cube, minus a square b, a b square. Now multiply with b into a square minus a into b square plus b cube. Okay, minus a b square plus a b square cancel, plus b a square cancel, a cube plus b cube, hence proved. Question number 2. If 1 omega square are the cube root of unity, then find the value of 1 minus omega plus omega square whole cube. Since 1 omega square are the cube roots of unity, we know the formula 1 plus omega square is equals to 0 and omega cube is equals to 1. Okay, our question is 1 minus omega plus omega square is equal whole cube. So 1 plus omega square. 1 plus omega square will be, take this omega here, it will become minus omega. So from this formula, we know the 1 plus omega square is minus omega. 1 plus omega square is minus omega, and this minus omega same as it is, because we don't consider this minus omega here because in this formula all are positive. So we are taking 1 plus omega square value. So this minus omega same as it is minus omega. Minus omega is minus 2 omega whole cube. Minus 2 cube omega cube. Minus 2 cube is nothing but minus 8. Omega cube value is 1. Is minus 8 is the answer. 3. If x is equals to 6 theta, then find the value of x power 6 plus 1 by x power 6. Okay, x is equals to 6 theta given. 6 theta is nothing but cos theta plus I sin theta. Okay, we want x power 6 value. So cos theta plus I sin theta whole power 6. So we know the formula of De Moivre's cos theta plus I sin theta whole power n is there. So this n will be multiplied here, cos n theta plus I sin n theta. Similarly, we can do here cos 6 theta plus I sin 6 theta. Okay, now we want 1 by x power 6. Okay, you will get cos 6 theta minus I sin theta. Cos 6 theta plus I sin 6 theta is nothing but cos 6 theta minus I sin theta. You will get 6 theta. Okay, you can rationalize and find the value. You will get this value. X power 6 plus 1 by x power 6 is cos 6 theta plus I sin 6 theta. This one, and this 1 by x power 6 value is cos 6 theta minus I sin 6 theta. Okay, here this get cancelled. Cos 6 theta plus cos 6 theta is nothing but 2 cos 6 theta. So x power 6 plus 1 by x power 6 will be 2 cos 6 theta. Question number 4. If 1 omega square are the cube roots of unity, then find the value of 1 minus omega plus omega square whole to the power of 5 plus 1 minus omega plus omega square whole to the power of 5. Okay, we know the identities 1 plus omega square is equals to 0 and omega cube is equals to 1. From this we can get 1 plus omega square value. 1 plus omega square is nothing but minus omega. Okay, see 1 plus omega square. 1 plus omega square will be minus omega. Okay, substituting minus omega, this minus omega same as it is, and this value is minus omega whole power 5. Similarly, we will find 1 plus omega from this because negative is there, so this one will be same as it is, and 1 plus omega value will be, take minus omega square there, so 1 plus omega is minus omega square. Okay, minus omega is minus 2 omega, minus omega square is minus 2 omega square whole to the power of 5, same as it is. Okay, now giving separately minus 2 to the power of 5, omega to the power of 5 plus minus 2 to the power of 5 and omega square to the power of 5. Okay, that is minus 32 omega to the power of 5 can be written as omega cube into omega square. Bases are same, power should be added and you will get 5. Okay, omega cube is nothing but 1 into omega square is omega square. Okay, at the place of this we are writing omega square. Similarly, omega to the power 10. Okay, 10 we can write in either way. Here I am writing omega 9. Omega 9 again can be written as 3 into 3 omega cube whole cube into omega cube is nothing but 1 cube into omega. 1 into omega is omega. Okay, so here omega. From this we can take minus 32 common, you will get omega square plus omega. So again we have identity here, 1 plus omega square. So omega plus omega square will be, take 1 here, it will become minus 1. So at the place of this we can write minus 1. Minus into minus plus 32 into 1 is 32 is the answer. Question number 5. If omega, 1, omega square are the cube roots of unity, then prove that 1 by 2 plus omega, 1 by 1 plus 2 omega is equals to 1 by 1 plus omega. Solution: 1 by 2 plus omega plus 1 by 1 plus 2 omega. Taking this fraction here, it will become minus 1 by 1 plus omega is equals to 0. Okay, take LCM. LCM will be 2 plus omega, 1 plus 2 omega, 1 plus omega. Multiply all these here in the denominator. Now as here these two brackets will multiply it here, 1 plus 2 omega and 1 plus omega, and here it is there, so these two will be multiplied here, 2 plus omega, 1 plus omega, minus here 1 plus omega is there, so these two terms will be multiplied here, 2 plus omega, 1 plus 2 omega. Okay, now multiply here, 1 into 1 is 1, 1 into omega is omega, 2 omega into 1 is 2 omega, plus 2 omega into omega is 2 omega square. Okay, similarly 2 into 1 is 2, plus 2 into omega is 2 omega, omega into 1 is omega, omega into omega is omega square, minus, first multiply these two brackets, then multiply minus here. I am directly multiplying here, 2 into 1 is 2, minus 2, 2 into 2 is 4 omega, minus 4 omega, omega into 1 is omega, minus omega, omega into 2 omega is 2 omega square, plus is there but here minus, so multiply minus. Okay, now cancelling all this term, omega and this omega, minus 2 omega square plus 2 omega square plus 2 minus 2 minus 4 omega plus 2 omega plus 2 omega is 4 omega plus 4 omega minus 4 omega gets cancelled. You will get 1 plus omega square, this one same as it is. See, 1 plus omega square by denominator same as it is. We know the identity that 1 plus omega square is 1. 1 upon something is, 0. 0 upon something is 0. Okay, therefore LHS is equals to RHS. 1 by 1, 2 plus omega, 1 plus 1 by 1 plus 2 omega minus 1 by 1 plus omega is equals to 0. But our question was like this. So taking this fraction here, 1 by 2 plus omega plus 1 by 1 plus 2 omega is equals to 1 by 1 plus omega. Hence proved. Number 6. Find the value of 1 minus I whole to the power of 8. 1 minus I. First take 1 minus I. Okay. Now multiply and divide by root 2. Multiply by root 2 and separately multiply both the terms by divide by root 2. Okay. 1 by root 2 minus I 1 by root 2. Okay. Here dividing, here multiplying. Okay. Root 2 into, we can write it as in terms of cos and sine. This is cos 45 and this is sine 45. So cos pi by 4 minus I sine pi by 4. Okay. So now we got 1 minus I. 1 minus I value whole to the power of f. 1 minus I value is this much root. So 8. Okay. Now giving 8 to all the terms. 2 to the power of root value is nothing but 1 by 2. 2 to the power of 1 by 2 whole to the power of 8. And this is in the form of cos theta minus I sin theta whole to the power of n. So we can give this here. Cos 8 pi by 4 minus I sin 8 pi by 4 by using de Moivre's formula. Okay. 2. 8 ones are 8. 8 by 2. 2 ones are 2 fours are. Okay. So 2 power 4. 4 ones are 4. 2s are. 2 pi minus 4 ones are 4 2s are. So minus I sine 2 pi. So 2 power 4 is 16. 16 into cos 2 pi minus I sine 2 pi. Cos 2 pi is 1 minus I sine 2 pi is 0. So 16 into 1 is 16. This one is 0. 16 ones are 16. So 1 minus I whole to the power of 8 is 16. Question number 7. If A, B, C are the angles of a triangle such that x is equal to cis A, y is equal to cis B, z is equal to cis C, find the value of x, y, z. Okay, x into y into z. Since A comma B comma C are the angles of a triangle, then A plus B plus C is equal to 180 degree. We know the sum of all the angles of a triangle is nothing but 180 degree. Okay, given x is equal to cis A, y is equal to cis B, and z is equal to cis C. Okay, we want x, y, z. So x value, y value, z value. We can write this as cis into A plus B plus C. Okay, cis is nothing but cos theta. This is nothing but theta now. Cos theta plus I sine theta. Okay, cos A plus B plus C is how much? 180. Sine A plus B plus C is 180. Sine 180. Cos 180 is minus 1. Sine 180 is 0. So minus 1 plus I into 0. This is 0. Minus 1. X, Y, Z is equals to minus 1. Question number 8. If 1 omega square are the cube roots of unity, then prove that 2 minus omega square, 2 minus omega to the power of 10, 2 minus omega to the power of 11 is equal to 49. Okay, since 1 omega square are the cube roots of unity, and we know that 1 plus omega square is equal to 0 and omega cube is equal to 1. Taking LHS, 2 minus omega square, 2 minus omega to the power of 10, 2 minus omega to the power of 11. 2 minus omega, same as it is, these two brackets. Now here we can write 10 as omega to the power 9 into omega. Bases are same, power should be added and you will again get 10. So writing omega to the power 9 omega 1. Okay, 2 minus, similarly we are writing omega to the power 9 omega square. Omega power 9 is nothing but omega power 3 whole power 3. Okay, 3 3s are 9. As we know, omega 3 value, power 3 value is 1. So we are writing in terms of omega power 3. Okay, 2 minus omega square, same. 2 minus, so omega power 9 is nothing but 1. 1 into omega. 2 minus omega power 9 is 1. 1 into omega square. 2 minus omega square. 2 minus omega into 1 is omega. Omega square 1 is omega square. Now 2 minus omega 2 times. So 2 minus omega whole square. 2 minus omega square. 2 minus omega square. So we can write 2 minus omega square. Okay. Now 2 minus omega square whole square we can write because both of them has square. So we are writing together. Now multiply 2 into 2 4 minus 2 into omega square minus omega into 2 is 2 omega minus into minus plus omega cube whole square. 4 minus, taking 2 common from this, you will get omega square plus omega cube. 4 minus 2 into, we know the formula for this, 1 plus omega square is equals to 0. So omega square plus omega value will be minus 1. So at this place we are substituting minus 1. Similarly, we know that omega cube value is 1. 4 minus into minus plus 2 ones are 2 plus 1. 4 plus 2 plus 1 is nothing but 7. Whole square is there. So 7 square, which is equals to 49. Hence proved. Question number 9. If omega comma omega square are the cube roots of unity, prove that 1 minus omega plus omega square whole power 6 plus 1 minus omega square plus omega whole power 6 is equals to 128. Taking LHS. As we know these identities, we are using only these identities. Okay, so you must remember this 1 plus omega square is equals to 0, omega power 3 is equals to 1. Okay, now taking LHS, 1 minus omega plus omega square whole power 6 plus 1 minus omega square plus omega whole power 6. Okay, consider positive 1. 1 plus omega square. 1 plus omega square will be minus omega. Okay, so this minus omega same as it is, and 1 plus omega square is minus omega whole power 6 plus, leave this and consider 1 plus omega. So 1 plus omega will be, take this minus omega square. So 1 plus omega will be minus omega square. This minus omega square same as it is, and 1 plus omega is minus omega square whole power 6. Minus omega is minus 2 omega whole power 6 plus minus omega square is minus 2 omega square whole power 6. Now giving power separately, minus 2 to the power 6 omega to the power 6 plus minus 2 to the power 6 omega square to the power 6. Minus 2 power 6 is nothing but 64. As the power is even, so this minus will go away. Okay, so 64. Here also 64. So taking 64 common, you will get omega power 6, omega power 6 to the 12, omega power 64. Now we are writing in terms of omega cube whole square. 2 3s are 6. Here also omega cube whole power 4, 3 4s are 12. Because we know the value of omega cube, so we are writing in terms of omega cube. Omega cube is nothing but 1 square, 1 power 4. 64. 1 plus 1 is 2. 64 into 2 is 128. Hence proved.